Looking through the lens, opinions of three friends. Looking through the lens, sometimes they don't make sense. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Unholy Trinity. We are through the lens. On my far right, that's Mr. Zephyros.
Howdy do.
On my right, that's Mr. Patronus Gold.
Hello.
I am Sundude, and today we are reviewing a recent Amazon Studios movie, The Tomorrow War. Synopsis: a family man is drafted to fight in a future war where the fate of humanity relies on his ability to confront the past. Very interesting film this one was. It was directed by Chris McKay, written by Zach D, and it stars Chris Pratt, Yvonne Strahovski, J.K. Simmons, Betty Gilpin, Sam Richardson, Jasmine Matthews, Edwin Hodge, and a bunch more people. Shall we get into the first impressions?
Yes. My first impression is, why the fuck does Amazon need to keep making these time movies, man? All the early original movies they make are just these fucking time movies, if you think about it. Like, remember, like the last couple we watched this one, watched the fucking Map of Tiny Perfect Things and Palm
Oh.
Springs. They're all just
Ooh,
fucking
yeah.
time. This is a fucking awful movie, mate. Fucking dreadful. I honestly, this is goddamn awful. Don't watch it, in my opinion. I don't know. What did
Don't
you
watch
guys
it if you
think?
enjoy watching silly shit.
Well,
I
it's
wouldn't
kinda,
even go that far because it's really fucking boring for like half of the
yeah,
film. Like
it's
the
not
pacing is
really.
dog shit, mate. Like,
Alright,
do
go
you
watch
guys
if you want to watch
honestly
shit.
reviewing this?
Watch it if you wanna watch Chris Pratt talk for 2 hours.
Facts though.
Talk
Yeah.
shit dialogue as well.
Dude be kinda
Yes.
like pretty surface level stuff where he be spouting
Yeah.
his mouth.
Actually, not even surface level. Like, this is below the surface. It's not even following its own logic well, owing only to the fact that they did not set things up in the first place. So it's
Yeah.
this, even the logic behind physics and the world and this world setting is just complete horseshit.
Yeah.
But we will talk about it. Let's start with acting.
Should I? I'll go ahead and say my controversial opinion, which is I think Chris Pratt is really poorly miscast in this film. To me, Chris Pratt isn't an action movie star. Guardians is a different story because they hired him because of comedy, right? Because of his Parks and Rec stuff and all of the stuff he's done before. They hire him for this one purely as an action star, which is really weird because they have a heavy reliance on comedy in this film. But that's from that's from another character who, by the way, that character that was included, the comedy one, fucking sucked. He had literally no place to fit in, and it was really awkward. Chris
Oh
Pratt,
yeah,
if
I
they wanted
forgot
like
about
some
that.
light comedy, Chris Pratt could have done that, you know. But the reason they cast him is for his role, I'm assuming, in Guardians, for his semi-action stuff. But that's really not that's not his like area of specialty. His area of specialty is comedy, which Guardians understood, which is why he's in that movie. And I think whoever cast this movie just didn't understand that at all.
Maybe Chris Pratt was like, yeah, I wanna be in an action movie. So he accepted the thing.
But they could have written the script better than around Chris Pratt, right? Give him better
Yeah.
dialogue. That's more Chris Pratt like, rather than have that stupid fucking side character.
Yeah.
Wait, that side character had like no screen time though.
What do you mean? He survived the entire fucking.
Yeah,
shit,
but like
I
all
didn't know.
his lines were like, "Oh fuck, mate, I hate this." That's it.
he did have a lot of lines.
Oh,
He
maybe at
talked a
the end
lot
actually.
in this fucking film.
Yeah, but they're all like kind
Yeah.
of bullshit, not funny lines.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It felt
So,
really out of place and
yes.
awkward with the tone of the film. Yeah.
So I don't remember him much at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
I know I shouldn't spoil that too much, but
yeah. Moving on from dialogue and I guess general writing flaws. We'll talk about writing now. We shall
there's
move on.
so many things wrong with the writing.
Yes, and we shall get into that.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
wanted to start the writing section off sort of like the most fundamental thing that they didn't get right. The world building, the exposition of like context and logic, even just like physics, how shit works.
Yeah.
They did not set anything up in the first place. They talk about how time must flow in a single direction. And to me, you're implying there that there can only be one path that time can take. You can't like change the past.
Yeah.
Everything that happened in the past that is time related with people traveling back in time has already occurred and will always occur. And that was the impression I got because that's normally how these things go when they say time can only travel in one direction. Oh, no, that doesn't make sense. But like, I got the implication that yes, it can only happen in a single timeline, basically.
Because the entire premise of the film, right, is they need to go into the future to save their own future, right? That's the
Yes.
reason they're fighting.
Yes.
But that doesn't make sense with all because first of all, okay, if you want to establish that as how time works, then they completely contradict that later.
Exactly.
Actually,
and we will talk about it.
Yeah, that actually brings me to a point. I think there is a really good, solid message that we're trying to go for in relation to like Vietnam and the way that America does war stuff. But they completely fucked it up because they didn't understand how the time thing worked. Because you got what I mean, right? Because it's like, whose war are you fighting? It would have made sense if they'd clearly established whose war they're fighting, but they didn't do that because of because of the time shit.
Now I
Alex
realized
Jones on
because
CNN
both of us
can't
got a
explain.
little angry there were spoilers.
I don't give a fuck. Okay, shut the. Like, I don't really know what I said there were contradictions later in the film. I didn't say
I
what they were.
definitely said spoilers.
You didn't. I think you were.
I definitely did.
Keep
I was like,
what-
they said in the film, and that was a spoiler. I quoted from the film.
the time
Oh,
flows
yeah.
in one direction.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is that
that's
a
not really
spoiler?
that's not really a spoiler because that's like the premise of the film is like they're trying to protect their future, which implies time flows.
Yeah.
Like, and also, audience, do you give a fuck about this movie? I'm telling you not to watch it. Like, but anyway.
What if they did watch it and they came for us for an opinion, you know?
Yeah, then
All
it's
right,
fine.
editor, your call. You do what you want to do. Make this a full
Yeah.
spoilers if you wanted to or whatever. Just like, do what you want.
All right.
Yes. Other things then.
Just in general, the suspension of disbelief in this film was broken so many fucking times it was ridiculous. Not even just to do with the time stuff, just the logical inconsistencies, like plot holes and shit, and just like character motivations and stuff didn't make that much sense. And like the big premise of the film doesn't make sense, so how can anything else make sense, right?
Yeah. The main thing was the time thing, and then that's fucked up. So nothing else makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, the pacing of the film was dog shit. This film is way too fucking long at 2 hours and 15 minutes.
It almost
I was
feels
so
like two
grumpy the
movies
next
to
day
me.
when I went to school because staying up late watching this piece of shit. Fuck this. Actually, speaking of which, tonally this film feels like a bunch of different movies mixed in one.
Yeah, that's
You got
what I
like
felt.
time travel shit. You got your war stuff. And you got like survival horror towards the end.
World.
Yeah.
Almost zombie movie. Or like I guess monster.
And then fucking comedy for no reason. Poorly handled. Like there's no The only good, like, semi-good comedy in this film was from J.K. Simmons. Because it's not, like, overtly comedy. It's more like he's just, like,
Saying
talking
funny
about the
remarks.
situation. Saying funny remarks.
Cause he J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yep. Is that it for writing?
Characters in general, I didn't really give a shit about. I think it was fully one of the catalysts of like some of the drama, I guess, in the film is the daughter, right?
Yeah.
I personally think they didn't do enough, especially once again with the time inconsistency things. It didn't matter. Like,
It
I don't
did
know.
not.
It's just like it did not matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of time thing. Actually,
Yeah.
this might be spoilers. I'll talk
We
about
could
it
save
as
it for
spoilers.
later then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Then we shall move on to
Yeah.
cinematography. That was decent, I think.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
The best-
one cool.
Yeah, the best moment in the film, like visually, in my opinion, was spoiled at the very fucking start of the movie for no reason. That
Oh,
opening
yeah.
act, which they come back to later. There's no point in showing that. That literally just spoiled the one good part of the movie. Also, they have a tendency of doing good cinematography over logic. There's a scene later on, without spoiling stuff, where there's a lot of monsters and it looks really cool, but at the same time you're kind of like, huh? How the fuck? It's very convenient the way everything just kind of came there, and it's all. Do you remember that?
Yep.
With the stairway.
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. That it? Now?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, how about the editing and the visuals?
I guess expanding on the previous thing, it's very inconsistent, right? There are some pretty good moments of CGI when, like, sometimes they're up close with some monsters without spoiling too much, especially when they're first introduced. That looks really cool. They did pretty nice animation and stuff, and I like the designs and shit. But then sometimes when there's like a lot on screen, their CGI budget just dropped, mate. It was just like fucking ridiculous. Like CGI in this film is really fucking inconsistent. Did you guys feel the same?
Yeah, they had some
Yeah.
decent shots, but they also had shit shots for the monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One particular moment that really strikes out to me was. I'll talk about it in spoilers.
Oh, you're making notes of what to talk about this. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Is that it for the editing and visual? Anything else to say?
Not really, I guess.
Yeah. Well, next we shall move on to audio and music then.
Oh,
Yeah, the
actually, wait. I
soundtrack
just want
was
to add something. Sorry. With from what I remember, guns looked really weird. Muzzle flashes were.
Oh,
awkward.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yes. That is another thing.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else to get off your chest? I'll take that as a no. Audio and music for real now. I'd say the soundtrack was decent, right? Nothing
was
too much.
Fine. It was fine.
I'd say the alien noises were cool. Although kind of generic, I guess.
I don't remember, but the aliens in general were pretty cool. So I guess the noises they made
Those
were
are
also
monsters.
Design's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Shooting spikes.
Yes.
Yep.
So, with that, we move on to spoiler zone.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Okay.
lot to break down.
Now we can have a discussion on the logic of this movie with the whole time
Yeah.
travel. You guys want to start us off?
The
Or
whole
the,
premise started with so in the future they fight monster aliens and they're losing. So they decide to bring people from the past to help them fight to potentially win.
Yeah.
So the past world conscripted a bunch of people to fight there for a week.
Yeah.
And specifically people who are about to die soon.
To avoid paradoxes. That
Apparently.
was the reason they gave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminded me. One of the most stupidest part of this fucking movie. Who did they recruit? They recruited random fucking
Oh yeah,
people.
civilians.
They're like,
right.
it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter. Like, it didn't matter. Like
military
anything. There were
training.
fucking old people fighting, and there was just like people who were like unfit, and then yeah,
These random ass people.
so fucking stupid. And you see how well that goes because the moment the team fucking drop in, everybody like dies except for like 3 people.
Yeah, except for Mr. Chris Pratt.
That was only because of a malfunction, though. But then
No.
malfunction-
I mean when they're fighting the aliens.
No, yeah.
True.
A bunch of people do a dramatic sacrifice moment. I don't give a shit about you guys. Why are you doing make me care about the characters, please? But I guess not. They're dead.
Yeah. Also with the date of death thing,
Yeah.
wasn't it like people who were gonna die before the future were instantly conscripted? There wasn't like they didn't have to go through the process other people had to if they kept living.
Guessing
guess so.
so.
Yeah, I think that's how I remember it.
Oh yeah,
But
just
still.
it made zero fucking sense. Because like, okay, what if you go into the war, right, and you get like some serious injury, and then you come back to the past? Were you
That would
always,
change
according
your
to their logic,
circumstance of
right? Their
death.
original logic is that it doesn't change anything, right? You meant to
Yeah.
get that injury. That's what's meant to happen.
It was
But then
heavily implied like that to me, at least.
Yeah, it was. I agree with you. That's what
And-
it was heavily implied.
The thing that made it really made it that implication was that them saying like a bunch of times we were always gonna lose this war,
Yeah, that thing.
and even towards the end,
Then why are you trying to win?
They were saying like we're using borrowed time was the quote, and that they were trying to extend it for as long as possible. That was like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then they go back on that and just, we can just change the past. We just stop it from happening in the first place. Like
Yeah.
they didn't think of that in the first place for some reason.
Well, the initial logic was the past is not going to change. Then if you bring people from the past to the future and bring them back to the past, well, that will definitely change the past.
Yeah,
The assumption
Yeah.
was that they were always meant to be like
it was
that. At least to me.
inevitable. Yeah,
Um,
but then they contradict it later, so it doesn't. It honestly
Exactly.
doesn't fucking matter. Yeah.
it never matters. Yeah.
Well, going into it a
any of
bit,
the other
like,
dot
if
points you
this
like
was
to-
always meant to happen, did this happen in the future's past, you know?
Exactly right.
So then, yeah,
The assumption now is that after finishing the movie is no.
Yeah,
That
no.
was like
Yeah.
a one-off event that was going to occur at some point in the future. But then,
But they changed the past.
it kind of.
the
was gonna say
implication
kinda
now
creates a
is that
paradox.
the implication now, right, is it's different timelines, right? It's not just one
Yeah.
singular timeline, because otherwise it's just
That has to
impossible.
be it, I think, because if you stop the future from ever happening,
Yeah,
if you stop the war from ever happening in the future,
creates a branch.
it creates a branch because
Yeah.
if that happened, the people from the future would not have gone to the past in the first place.
Yeah,
So
That's
it's a. But then that also doesn't make sense, I think, because in a different timeline, it still has to branch off from a past where the future people came. But if you stop them from ever happening in the first place, the future people would never come in the first place.
Well, that's in, I guess, that Chris Pratt's particular timeline. He fixed it, you know.
It is really
Yeah,
confusing,
that
and it makes zero
particular
sense.
Chris Pratt timeline, I guess.
They did a terrible job of this. That's all there is to say.
Yeah,
That's why timey-wimey poo-poo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, righty.
Different timelines. I guess then that begs the question: why are they fighting for a different timeline? That's kind of stupid.
Because they are stupid and they didn't realize they're
Stupid.
fighting for different timelines.
Different timelines because nobody sat down and went,
Why we go to future?
Well, that's actually the funny thing, right? Because one of the big drama in this film is all the people's opinions of this war. They're
Of the
like, "Well, why
protest
should we
or-
be fighting the war?" And at that point in time, we were like, "It was pretty fucking obvious. It's your future. Like that's why you're fighting this war." But now you think about it, they're just fighting someone else's war in a different timeline.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
So now I agree
Initially.
with those fucking idiots. So it's just like maybe they were the real intellectuals, those ones who were saying this not fight.
The Alex Jones of the Chris Pratt universe. Or the Tomorrow World universe were right, bro. As he always was.
Yeah.
He predicted
Yeah.
Corona. I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, sure.
he said
sure.
something about a virus from China, bro, so he was right.
I
He's
just
time traveler.
looked on
Yep.
Wikipedia, the reception section of this of the
Oh, yes.
article to see if
It's
people
very
were
mixed, right?
to see if what people were talking about and how much it correlates to what we're talking about. They haven't really talked anything about bad logic.
Yeah, I
it's
actually
not
haven't seen
Wikipedia.
anyone talk about that really. I don't know.
Like-
People dislike it for other reasons, but
I'm fully open to be proven wrong with my logic. Like there could be a way that it works, but I'm not seeing it.
prove us wrong in the comments.
Yes, do tell us in
Yeah.
the comments.
Maybe they just
So-
carry Chris Pratt's in the movie.
According to website's critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes, the Tomorrow War may not linger in the memory much longer than today.
That's clever.
Like- That's a good line. IGN described it as supremely stupid sci-fi.
Agreed.
It is supremely stupid. Yeah.
Those are some of the highlights. I'd like to share that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, moving on. Should we
Moving
talk
on.
about the cinematography?
Yep. That's yours.
Was that me?
Yeah.
Was it Dio?
Oh, monsters.
No, you brought up the shot with
Oh,
the
the
lots of monsters.
stairs. The stairs.
And-
Yeah,
or
that
on the ocean. Yeah.
that bit like didn't make sense. Oh yeah, there was a plot hole in that bit. The entire reason those monsters were there were to get the queen, right?
The
Right?
stairs.
Uh,
What do you mean
remind
get
me
the
which
queen?
staircase?
On the what was it? The fucking ocean thing.
Uh huh.
The big base where they keep
I think
the
I remember
queen.
now.
Because the
That's
whole
not the
mission was to
staircase.
extract the.
Do you mean like
What?
that's
What are
like
you
the
talking
hive?
about?
I guess. I thought you were talking about the
Yeah, that's
fucking the first half of the movie where they're in the building and shit.
Oh shit! Sorry, was that what I was? Sorry, I got a bit confused. Let me just talk about this one first, then we can come to that afterwards. The oil rig, right?
Okay.
Hive thing. That bit was so fucking stupid. They had already got the information they needed to get a cure. The monsters were coming. They could have just fucking killed the queen. That would have stopped them
Oh yeah,
from
that's
coming.
right. But they're
They
like,
did
nah.
nothing. They did fuck all, and then the daughter dies, and it's like,
No, like
well,
Chris
that's
Pratt
your
actually
fucking
said, "Let's
fault. You
kill the
guys-
queen," and then like the daughter's like, "Nah."
She's fucking stupid.
Yeah. I forgot
Like,
for what
goddamn.
reason, but she was like, "Nah." So Chris was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Although it's an argument to be okay. In any case, it's stupid that they didn't just kill the queen after they got the thing. But then, slight argument to make: if you kill the queen, wouldn't the males just get more angry?
Maybe, but at least you wouldn't have the
Well,
queen
I mean, they
running
wouldn't
around.
be. because they're prone onto that one thing because they can sense the queen, right?
Well, the queen is like the
Well,
smart
if the queen
mastermind
dies, they
of all
can't sense
things.
it
So
anymore.
like,
Yeah.
if they don't have a queen,
It's
they'll be
just
like,
like-
"Oh, what the fuck to do now?" But they're still
Yeah.
not
Like,
humans.
after that, all they're looking for is blood now.
Yeah, I guess. But you know what? Fuck it. It's a stupid movie. Oh yeah, my favorite visual part, right, was when they're falling out of the sky, and then it was pretty cool because people actually just fucking straight up die, and it's like, okay, there are actual stakes to this. That was cool, but then the stupid plot armor comes in, and Chris Pratt just happens to hit the right part of the pool at the exact right moment that is needed. But I don't know.
He has the
Kind of
powers.
He has the powers.
Well, this movie is
staircase
about
scene.
his character, so he must be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, staircase.
Yeah, that was a cool bit. Like, they have interesting survival horror elements in this film, like that staircase scene where they're like kind of going around slowly, and then you see the creature at the top. That was really well done. I like that scene. Same as at the ending when they go into the spaceship. I think they did pretty well for that. You gotta go around, you kind of like, ooh, mysterious, ooh. Then that scene kind of just like goes a bit weird at the end.
Yeah.
But there are like a
Those are
couple
good
of there are
parts.
good moments in this film. It's just that between them is so much shit. Just so much shit.
Yep.
A fucked emergency.
Superb shit.
Sunman.
Yes. I thought the visuals looked cool in the staircase scene, or like at least
Oh, it's
the
the same,
most
yeah.
memorable for me were like right before it. As they are looking up into the staircase, I thought the lighting looked very convincing. When it shined onto the white spikes at the top of the staircase, that looked cool, and it was pretty memorable. Other than that, it just kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my one.
I agree
Final
with you
one.
there.
Who wrote this one?
Oh yeah, daddy
Issues.
issues. One of the
yeah.
key storylines is his relationship with his father. And I just remember the funniest part because they provided no explanation of what like their actual relationship was at the start, like who the father was. So it's really funny. All you know is that his dad left him, and then when they want to flee, like escape the conscription, they're like, "Wow, I know a guy." So we thought that at first to talk about because his dad left him, they needed to know how to leave and go off grid like his dad did. Explain it later properly why, but like, so it's pretty funny.
That was the initial impression. Their
Oh,
relationship.
and that drama was so fucking forced. Like,
Absolutely.
and there was no, honestly, there was no growth for the dad, right? Is it just me or like nothing changed from?
Oh
the
no,
way
he
was
said
at the start of the
sorry
film in the end?
at the end.
Yeah, but
yes.
he proved Chris Pratt right. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna need my help," which is the fucking stupidest thing. If the dad left him, that obviously he needs the help of his father, but his dad was a bitch and run off. That's like the whole conflict, right? But then the dad's
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, you'll need me, son," and no shit. And then he comes for help, and then his dad saves the day with him. What messages they try to send here?
Be
No,
friends
Like
with
nothing
your
changed.
dad.
It was fucking stupid. Be friends with your dad.
Yeah.
It was all a stupid fever dream. Okay. Now that I said it, this genuinely felt like a dream. Nothing made sense. It looked cool. That's really
Ah.
funny.
And Chris
I'm
Pratt
proud of
was
myself for
in it.
that
Chris
one.
Pratt was in it as well, so it must be a dream. Yeah.
Okay, we've got to like. I might put that on a t-shirt. Maybe.
Yeah.
Or at least just keep using it. But like, I don't know. This is what it felt like to me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nice.
Very, very epic.
Yeah.
If do we have anything else we need to get off our chests?
Probably, but like I can't think right now. I'm done.
Yeah, dear.
I'm good.
Are we good? All right. Spoiler zone. Welcome back. For the people who skipped, we are going to start off with Dio as always. Take it away.
Yeah, so this movie, long ass shit movie, shit story, shit characters, funny alien. 3 out of 10.
Holy shit, you're like spot on with what I would go with, mate.
Yeah.
I agree with everything
You
Dio
got the
said.
alien wavelength.
Sometimes it's watchable with the cool visual moments occasionally. Other than that, fucking shit movie. My summary is it's at least better than Antebellum. 3 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess I gotta go with the crowd. 3 out of 10.
Keep
Echoes what I
pressure,
think.
man.
Plus
Yeah.
a grudge point for just bad logic.
Yeah.
That ticks me off, but yeah. 3 out of 10 combined average for the Tomorrow War, which we will not think about tomorrow because of our shit.
Yeah.
In any case, that is our review. Make sure you stay tuned, maybe tomorrow, for another episode of Through the Lens.
Mhm.
Got some stuff coming at you. Stay tuned. And
See you
without
tomorrow.
further ado, we will
Whoa.
say our goodbyes.
We will say our adieus. I do.
Yeah.
I do not.
Rude.
But